12 to 10 hours later, I'm still here, maybe even 14 hours, ranting my dick off. What do you know? My mind goes on a trail, I start thinking about shit. That's when the magic happens. But I really do feel the need to complain about intersectionality, because it's a cutesy topic on Tumblr, the social justice warriors. I'm always getting on its grill, but I never dissed it in and of itself. What makes it so cutesy and short-sighted is that they'll think, alright, we're only gonna get real justice if we focus on the race issue, the sex issue, and the orientation/gender identity issue all at once. All on the cripple issue. So you leave out one of them, and it all falls apart. It's being egalitarian on all fronts. And that's kind of what makes it cutesy, because a lot of these things are treated as though they're a race, an ethnic group, an identitarian concept. While that is okay with the actual races, the biological races, when you try to be an egalitarian, focusing on the Negroid or the Mestizoid, and trying to avoid the Caucasoid privilege. But then you deal with identitarian concepts like sexuality. Because only in Western civilization is sexuality an identitarian thing. And gender is a very false construct. Nobody outside of the first world uses it. It's very much true, yet we're surprised that social justice warriors are getting heat for being too Americanized. They're creating these imaginary identitarian groups and trying to make them out to be races that have a history of oppression, that need their independence, and to fight for it because their masters won't voluntarily give it to them. And it all falls apart because it's not really an identitarian thing. And all the fallacies that come from trying to make it that complicate things. Then you got the sex issue. Guys, girls. What do you do with that? I mean, they're trying to make it so that it's this male race, female race, that it's this thing where it's a binary thing. That it's a dialectic. When there is duality to some extent, they complete each other, the yin and the yang. Every guy has some female to him. There's a feminine side to every guy, there's a masculine side to every female. This is stuff that's relevant in Eastern thought, so maybe I shouldn't be too critical of it. When you make these people out to be individual races, that's a very unhealthy way of looking at the gender issue, because then it becomes us versus them. And that's the last thing it needs to be. I'm sick and tired of seeing this. This isn't reality. You know, at least pictures of a flag that has this fucking fist. Y'all can't take that. Being militant, it's not for you. Because you don't know how to apply yourselves. social justice warriors, postmodern, leftists, Marxists. I mean, those are extinct haplogroups, or haplogroups, whatever. Point is, y'all can't handle that. That's not for you. Being militant. And I see it right now with the sex issue, how people are treating their sex as though it's a race, and the us versus them mentality. Because sometimes people in the manosphere can't shut the fuck up about women because they've been abused by them all their life, thanks to modernism. Now I can't stop hearing it. We could be talking about religion or racialism, and all of a sudden it goes back to women. Like, damn. Being in a platonic relationship when you don't want it doesn't justify making that the whole bane of your existence. But intersectionality. Let's turn everything into a race. Let's turn everything into this identitarian subgroup that can be rivaled against another identitarian subgroup or conglomerated with one for a higher good. Let's do that. It doesn't work. These concepts aren't intersectional. They don't work, and people can only fake it here in a first world country because we have the luxury of being stupid or having enough short-sighted constructs that make no sense. And identity politics is becoming more and more that. Anyways, Mr. Wonka 7, and well, first off, you can create a race, not just with a biological thing, but I think you can also do it with a religious thing, even if it's not something you're necessarily going to stick with your entire life, because it's identitarian, it's a subgroup, you can have an us versus them mentality, and we do typically infuse them together, so it's a bad separation. Anyway, respect the king.